world-class trainer Kevin Berry. Kevin, lately we've been here talking mostly about Joseph Parker, but you've got a couple of new guys to your stable. One guy, I guess, is coming back to your stable, and we'll start with him, Umar Salinov, if I'm saying it right. What can you say about your 24-1 light heavyweight?
Look, Umar's a terrific talent, very powerful light heavyweight, very skillful. He's been hitting cards in Russia since he was 21 years old. When I first met him as a light heavyweight, he was sparring Vladimir Klitschko, which I could not believe. So that's the sort of guy he is. Like he's a fearless warrior. He has a big heart, trains very hard, and he walks around at 200 pound and cuts down to 175. He's sitting very high in the world rankings at the moment, and it won't be too long until you see Umar fighting for a world title.
All right, so next for Salimov is going to be Romer Angulo from Colombia.
Look, Angulo's a very dangerous puncher, 24-1 with 21 knockouts. He's performed exceptionally well against the highest caliber opposition. This is a big step up test for Umar Salimov. But both guys like to punch. Umar's not afraid to stand there and trade and back his own power. He's been hurting my hands in the gym. He hits very, very hard for a 175 pounder.
And that can be dangerous though against a guy with a knockout record. A lot of guys from Colombia have power. I'm sure you would rather have Umar moving around a little bit in this fight.
As much as I said he likes to stand there and trade, he's got good height and reach for a light heavyweight. He's 6'3.5". He's got long arms. He will be using that. He'll be using that reach. He'll be using his height. He also goes to the body very, very powerfully. So we'll be trying to control the distance against Angulo.
And a win in this fight, I mean, like you said, he's highly ranked. You guys should be on the cusp of a title shot, I would think. Yeah,
I've got his manager arriving into town tomorrow, and he said he's got some exciting news to talk about. So, we're going to make sure that Umar gets through this fight on September the 18th in Moscow. And, it should put him very, very close to getting a world title shot in the light heavyweight division.
And your new fighter, Guido Vianello, he's still in the beginning, the developmental stages in his career, but he's going to be back on the Tyson Fury Otto Wallin card. What can you say in the month or so you've been working with him?
Look, I'm very excited about working with Guido. He's a great human being, very, very hardworking, very diligent. For a young guy, he is very mature beyond his years. He wants to be a champion. He's a very intelligent young man, somebody who I enjoy coaching because, when I show him something, he'll practice it until he gets it. He takes his training very, very seriously. He ticks all the boxes. He's a guy 6'6.5". He is very athletic, very flexible, and he really wants to become a champion. So I've got to slow him down in the gym. He's always at training early, and he's always the last one to leave. So I'm very excited about working with Guido.
And his English is a lot better in the few months it's been since last time I interviewed him and today.
His English is really improving all the time. He's been living with us for over 3 weeks now, and it's getting better every week. But it's and I'm seeing the development and the improvement, in his training. Like, he's a big guy, and I'm trying to get him to fight like a big guy, be more selective on his punches. And look, I'm excited about being on such a great card with Guido as the Tyson Fury fight on the 14th of September. So it's good for Guido, and it's good for me for him to be out there showcasing on such a big event.
And you've had Fury in your gym here, working with Joseph Parker. Also, he's worked with Guido before. What do you think of that fight against Otto Wallin, who's untested but he's undefeated?
Well, look, I think it's once again it's a very safe fight for Tyson. The only real challenge is the fact that the guy's a southpaw, but I don't think it will matter. Otto Wallin is. He finds himself in a position that, if if Tyson Fury wasn't lining up a rematch with Deontay Wilder in the early months of next year, he wouldn't be in this position fighting in a big fight like this. It's a fight that Wallin has never experienced anything like a Tyson Fury. Like, he's going from level 1 to level 10 in one fight, so it's a massive step up for him, and it's a fight that I honestly don't see Tyson having any trouble in it whatsoever. But once again, it keeps him busy. It keeps him in the gym for another training camp, and we all know that one of the very biggest fights in heavyweight boxing is the rematch between him and Deontay Wilder. And at the moment, it's just both guys are fighting against the southpaw before they fight each other.
Yeah, what do you think about the other one? You got Luis Ortiz fighting on Wilder again.
Well, obviously, Deontay's in a lot tougher than what Tyson's in. Ortiz showed in the first fight that he's still very, very capable. He found a way to land that left hand on Deontay in the first fight, and he shook him up for a round. But Deontay showed a champion's heart by surviving, coming back, and then putting on display his uncommon one-punch knockout power and getting him out of there. Personally, I think the rematch will be a lot easier for him.
Wilder.
Yes, I really do. I think that Ortiz has looked very cumbersome in his last couple of fights. Both of them went the distance. He looked like a fighter who was starting to show his age. Some people will say, well, he never really had the big challenge in front of him, so for him to get up for. But the opponents that he was in with, I think he should have made the fights a lot easier than what they were.